from Kern Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, good afternoon. Would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Parlier.
Here.
Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here. And thank you. Good afternoon to all of you as well, to the public who's here and those who are watching. Welcome to the Tuesday, January 7th, 2025, 2 p.m. meeting of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. We will first hear from County Counsel Margot Raizan for a report on actions taken in closed session.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, board members. This morning in closed session, you met on items 41 and 42, and there is no reportable action.
Thank you very much for that. Moving along, we're going to begin by considering the consent agenda. Agendas are located at tables near the doors for anyone wishing to follow along. All items listed with a capital C, capital A are considered to be routine and non-controversial by staff. They can be voted on all at one time, or depending on the wishes of the public, we can hear information on them now, or a member of the board can remove an item and it would be heard in its regular listed sequence. The purpose of consent is to move matters along that we don't have much disagreement on, and that for the proficiency of the meeting, we can keep moving. Consent items begin on page 2, and they are items 4 and 5. On page 3, all items listed 6 through 10. On page 4, all items listed 11 through 15. On page 5, all items listed 16 to 20. On page 6, all items listed 21 to 28. However, on 21, we have a slight correction, which is a continuance, or to vote to continue this matter to January 14, 2025 at 2 p.m. We'll deal with that matter at that time. But 21, as to the consent agenda, is slated for continuance. So all items on that page, 21 to 28, with the caveat. On page 7, all items 29 to 34. On page 8, items 35 to 41, all items listed. Page 9, all items listed 42 to 44. Are there any members of the public who would like? One more page. Oh, excuse me. What did I miss? Oh, forgive me. You mean 45 to 48? Mm-hmm. So on page 9, I misstated. It is all items listed, 42, 43, 44, as well as 45 through 48. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Are there any members of the public who would like to comment on the consent matters? We'll get to the regular agenda in a moment. Consent matters. Okay. So seeing no interest from the public, I'll entertain a motion from the board.
Motion on the board consent items.
And
To adjourn and reconvene as Taft Heights Sanitation District.
Thank you, Supervisor Flores. We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Please cast your votes.
Mr. Flores, can you just confirm your vote audibly?
Yes.
Okay. The motion is approved, all ayes.
Excellent. We are now sitting as the Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District, and will consider the consent agenda, which includes item C1. There is one item on that consent agenda. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment, provide insight on that matter? Okay, it looks like that noise is folks exiting the chambers and not coming down. So I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda and to adjourn as the Ford City Taft Heights Sanitation District and to reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
Motion.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Thank you for the second. And please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, all ayes.
Okay, we have now reconvened as the Board of Supervisors and will consider item number 2 under public presentations. Do we have members of the public who would like to come forward and discuss matters that are related to the jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors but are not on today's specific agenda? This is your time to come forward and be heard. We generally like to keep this for the proficiency of the meeting to 2 minutes. I hope that you will honor that or consider that in your comments. But good afternoon, sir. Please come forward and give us your name and your thoughts.
My name is Larry Walker, retired Army Vietnam veteran. I spent 5.5 years as a service officer helping veterans of this county, several hundred of them, with a very high successful rate. I was removed from that clinic last March. I was going to retire anyway due to a medical condition, but removed 5 days early because of a complaint filed by Mr. Lopez, your director of CDVA. This was a false claim, but I couldn't get the DAV to listen because they were too busy going back east. So we shut down the office. And to this date, they've never done anything with it. They said they're going to reconvene. Back in May, I had a veteran, I had a chance to meet with the veteran in the clinic, Ulysses, and I had heard from several veterans that he had been telling veterans that the DAV was fired. We were not fired. They just stepped back and they wanted to reorganize. He got up from his desk that was across the room with an angry look on his face, started to walk towards me. I said, you just need to stop lying to the veterans. He got up right next to me, this close, with an angry look on his face and said, you need to get the hell out of here now. About that time, the security guard is walking towards us. I turned, I said, not a problem, because he had said what's going on. I'm about to leave right now. That happened in May. In August, I get a letter stating that I had cursed at that man and that I had threatened him. I'm a 74-year-old disabled veteran. He's a young man in his 30s. I threatened him. He was threatening me, and he cursed at me. There was no investigation of this at all. They did not even ask the security guards. They didn't even ask me. They just took the word of those veterans down there, and I'm sure that Mr. Lopez had something to do with it. He needs to leave. All I'm asking for is an apology, and this letter be removed.
Mr. Walker, thank you first and foremost for your incredible service. Thank you for being here. It's quite a showing of your brothers who have joined you, and I appreciate you being here, and I am very sorry that this has happened. I really am. I
appreciate that.
I would really like to resolve this in a way that is meaningful to you and your company. And I would ask the county council if you could help us move forward in this very delicate and important matter.
Certainly, Madam Chair. It's my understanding that this letter that Mr. Walker references, although I don't have the whole letter. He only provided the front page.
I forgot the signature page.
My office has an employment section. That section works closely with other county departments, and we're frequently contacted when they have concerns about any employment-related matter. My thought for something that could perhaps help today is to ask Mr. Walker to go upstairs to my office, which is on the 4th floor of this building, and Kendra Graham, who's the Assistant County Counsel, and I believe Brian Alba, who's the Chief Deputy over the Employment Section. I know Ms. Graham is available. I'm not sure about Mr. Alba, but meet with them and talk about the contents of the letter, get a little more information, and try to find a path forward.
I really appreciate that.
I'll be more than happy to.
Mr. Walker, I know how important honor and reputation is to you and your crew here. So this is a very important issue.
It is. I've been losing sleep over it. I'm constantly, and I put it off for far too long. I had talked to the state and a state senator, and to this date, nothing had happened, so I decided I would just come in and speak my word.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing your heart here. Okay. We are on your side and going to work for a resolution that makes sense here. So
thank you very much.
For bringing your servicemen as well. Thank you for all that you have done and continue to do in this community and for this great country.
There was a couple of them here that would like to speak on my behalf.
Thank you, sir. Yes, please come forward, state your name for the record. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Leticia. George Garcia, Vietnam combat medic. And I'm here in support of Larry, and my Vietnam Rat Pack is behind me. With the utmost respect and gratitude, the Vietnam Rat Pack thank our Vietnam brother Larry Walker, who has been helpful and extremely diligent in providing World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan veterans assistance and support with VA disability forms and information in order to acquire their disability ratings. Larry has provided assistance and support to several hundred World War II to the present veterans over a period of 5 years. Several Vietnam vets who were hiding their PTSD, as myself and my Vietnam Rat Pack have PTSD, that Larry was able to convince to accept appointments with social workers and VA doctors who would diagnose them to be able to file for benefits. Larry has been successful with more than 80% of claims. Larry assisted the Vietnam Rat Pack at the Portrait of a Warrior's Gallery, pinning over 1,200 Vietnam veterans with the 50th anniversary Vietnam War lapel pins since 2020. I have always found Larry to be pleasant, mild-mannered, and even-tempered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
My name is Dan Keeter. I'm also a Vietnam combat vet. I have a letter here I want to read on behalf of a veteran who was seeking help at the CDVA. He says, "My name is Gene Selby. My experience with the CDVA was horrible to the point that I had given up getting the help that I had deserved. When I heard of Mr. Walker and his commitment to our veterans, I decided to seek his help with my claim. He guided me through every step and then filed my claim, which resulted in being rated 100%, which within less than a year of the filing. I can't believe that Mr. Lopez had the audacity to file 2 complaints against Mr. Walker when he is unable to himself to control the service officers that work under him. I had an opportunity to talk to one of the CDVA service officers once when he was in the office in the clinic. When I asked where the DAV was, he stated that they were no longer allowed to work in the clinic and were fired. When I asked why, he stated that they had been leaving paperwork laying around for others to see and taking their computers home with them, and that they were violating the veterans' privacy while in the office with too many people in there with them. To my knowledge, no one had ever complained of how Mr. Walker conducted business during his 5+ years in that office. And if they wanted privacy, Mr. Walker always provided it. I absolutely agree with Mr. Walker's assessment of the CDVA and that Mr. Lopez needs to be removed." And he ended by saying, "Larry is one of the most dedicated veterans I have known." Thank you.
Any other speakers on this matter?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. A lot of you know me. I'm a Kern County retiree. I'm also a United States Army veteran. I personally work here with all of my veterans.
Can you provide us your name, please?
I'm sorry, Arlene Aninian.
Thank
you. I work here with all of our veterans. I know the impact that losing Larry Walker and the 2 other volunteers at the clinic has made. I personally utilize the services of the clinic. Without them there having the services of the DAV, they're at a loss. They don't even know where to go to. I personally witnessed something that I reported. But I just wanted to let you know that I support Larry Walker and everything that he and the other volunteers have done at the DAV, at the clinic, and we really do need to bring them back to the clinic. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, I didn't know there was a Vietnam Rat Pack, but I'm glad that there is, and I would appreciate the opportunity to come and hear from you and learn from you as it relates to this matter, but other matters. My mother was a Vietnam veteran. She's an Army nurse stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia. She cared for amputees as they returned from war. absolutely shaped everything she came to know about humanity came from those experiences, and her devotion to the underdog, as it was relayed to me as a child, was unwavering because of the men that she cared for. Children, young men, coming home forever altered by that experience. And I'll tell you, my kid sister, when she graduated from UCLA, she joined right into the Army. And 42 years after my mother stepped foot off of Fort Benning, my baby sister went on to Fort Benning to care for our military personnel in the medical field. And my mother was later diagnosed with PTSD from that experience. I have a disabled husband who has PTSD, 20 years, that I have lived with it, and our family has lived with it as a price of war and as a reality. So I want you to know that I have profound respect for you. I know that this body does. And I'm so sorry that you've had these conflicts here. I feel confident that we can work through it together. But I'd also like separately to, be a part of your group in supporting it if I can, and also just learning from you. And I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for everything that you have done. I'm going to ask you if you could please head over to the third floor, and I'm sorry, fourth floor, and it is, who will they be meeting with?
Assistant County Counsel Kendra Graham and Chief Deputy Brian Alba.
And Kendra is just fabulous. I think you're going to find something meaningful and out of the outcome. Please come forward.
The Vietnam Rat Pack meets every Wednesday morning at 10:30 at the Portrait of the Warrior Gallery. It's basically a faith-based. We laugh a lot. We have little things that we talk about.
Oh, wonderful.
I spoke at several elementary schools this year. I wear my dress blues when I do it. I really get a good reaction from the students. It's my pleasure to be a veteran to the children also, to let them know it's a great thing to be able to do to serve your country.
Thank you, and God bless you.
1925 I Street.
Thank
Someone
you.
broke our window. Yes,
Yeah, they got broke into the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. What a disgrace.
It
we had to
was.
board it up.
Yeah,
It was a disgrace.
yeah, it is. Thank you, and I look forward to some resolution on these matters and getting to know you better. Thank you,
I don't think we
gentlemen.
all need to go up. If anybody wants to go with me, I think I can handle it.
Okay, thank you.
If anybody wants to go
Oh,
upstairs with me,
forgive me. Forgive me. Excuse me, gentlemen. Supervisor Parlier has some input. Forgive me, Supervisor.
he's a veteran.
Thank you, you're right.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I just want to echo the statements made by the Chair. I think they're very important, and I hope staff finds a resolution to this. I'm not a combat veteran, but I am a veteran of the United States Air Force, and I was proud to serve our country. And anyway, thank you for your presence. Thank you for all your service, and thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Are you sure that wasn't the chair force? I gotta go.
Hey, we had good food.
I got him to laugh, okay?
Thank you. Nothing quite like a Vietnam vet, huh, Kathy? Their own men. Okay.
Chairman Parlier, excuse me for interrupting like this before we vacate. I want to thank, I'd like the Kern County Board Chairman, all you folks for hearing us today. And I would like to make a recommendation to you, sir, that you call maintenance and have them cut about 6 inches off the California flag, if you will, please. Constitution of the United States requires that this American flag be flown higher than any other flag.
Thank you very much for that. We'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Any other public presentations? Please come down. If there's anyone else, would you please come down to the front row so we can move this along, our meeting along? There is no rush, but we certainly don't like to waste time. Good afternoon, sir.
I'm Eddie Lane. I don't know how you follow that. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm with the Sierra Club. I hope your holiday break was a good one. For the new year, it's time for a checkup of parks. And like a checkup visit with a doctor, our Sierra Club letter yesterday, also being distributed today, shows pictures of Kern County parks all within the last 6 weeks. These are looks at the parks. These are not about plans, about millions of dollars, but these are based on actual visits to parks, only to some, I might add. Your parks need new management to address ongoing and repeatedly noted maintenance and security issues. I passed out pictures from 3 parks, along with a letter submitted yesterday. None of us would want to ask our family or friends to use many of the restrooms in Kern County parks. And the security issues are real. With an off-road vehicle on the grass at Virginia Avenue Park and no evidence of park rangers. This was a week ago Sunday. Posted in city Bakersfield parks are numbers regarding who to call. And you call, and you get a live person who talks to you, and then they call you back about your issue. They call you back. That's real service. That's real public service. You call the number and they call you back about the issue, whatever issue it is. So it's time for a fresh approach. With over $3 million of $16 million left over in last year's budget, there are millions which could be spent to reestablish, as was done before 2017, a separate Parks and Recreation Department. I should say we really don't have any recreation now in Kern County. And we need a professional such as the city has done when they hired Rick Anthony. I'm just going to mention his name. If a doctor examined Kern County parks, he or she would prescribe a new regimen, new procedures, new medications. So it's time for a fresh look at Kern County parks. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Eddie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Antje Lauer. I'm a member of the Department of Biology at CSUB. I'm also a member of the Sierra Club, and I want to emphasize what Mr. Lane actually just brought forward about the park. So have a look at the pictures. And I personally am familiar with Hart Park, and I want to say a few words about the erosion that has taken place along the riverbank. So you can see there's, I think, at least one photo that shows how steep an eroded area is and how dangerous it is for people who come close. And there's not really a lot of warning that you can maybe fall down and break your foot or your neck. But I'm bringing this up as a biologist because these river erosions happened because of the El Nino events like 2 years ago with a lot of water rushing down the Kern River. And back in time, I think in 2018, we had a similar event and the riverbanks were stabilized with some concrete rubble that was brought in by some kind of company, but it didn't really last. So we want to emphasize on putting things in motion that are sustainable. So when we repair something, we want to do it right so that it lasts for a long time, so that we're not wasting funds, right? So I would like to propose that if repairs are being planned about the eroded areas in the riverbanks, we should maybe consult with landscapers, a hydrogeologist, and have a look into the future when the next El Nino events might come. And they usually come every 5 to 8 years. So we might be safe for a couple of years until the next El Nino event or maybe an atmospheric river puts us in a situation that we had a couple of years ago. Because with climate change, we definitely have more severe weather events, so we cannot really predict what happens, so we better are prepared. So to be best prepared, we suggest that you should ask experts to help what is the best strategy to make those riverbanks safe. And we have experts at CSUB who can help with this. We have hydrogeologists, we have landscapers, we have botanists, and we also have good connections to California Native Plant Society and others. Okay? Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Could you state and spell your name?
Yeah, first name Antje, last name Lauer, Lauer.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other public comment? Okay, we're going to move on to board member announcements or reports. Gentlemen, Chris Parlier.
So regarding the last two statements, the My Kern app that's utilized at some point, if we could have some sort of presentation basically on that, there's probably low and high hanging fruit on this, you know, as far as graffiti. I think we have some contracted services through the city too, but just as far as the process, of a phone call and not getting a response, maybe, getting out information on that app might be a way to, report things, and there might be a smoother process.
Supervisor Parlier, through the chair, we can certainly do that. When the app initially came out, it's fairly new. There was a presentation, but we're happy to do that again and look at some resolve to some of the issues.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely excellent idea, Supervisor. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. We should have some ongoing sense about how it's working, because there's a lot of excitement about it in the community. We pass out, it's really a major upgrade, but it's got to work to make sense. So I appreciate that, Supervisor. Ms. Kraus, did I forget anything that you can see?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Madam Chair, it sounds like Jeff would like to make some comments
fabulous.
related to this as well.
Mr. Hill, thank you so much. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Jeffrey Hill, Chief General Services Officer. I just wanted to make a couple of comments in isolation about the app, as well as our signs that are posted and the comments that were made and have been made in the past. And the information's out there directly with the individual that's making the comments. Every park in Kern County has at least 2 signs on it that has contact information and a QR code to the app. With some exceptions, the parks that are currently under construction don't have that sign yet, but as those projects are completed, those signs will be posted. So broadly, 50-60% of all parks have signs that have contact information, QR code to the app, and then it directs you through the app into make a comment, make a positive comment, that'd be novel, or a complaint, and we take them all. So I just wanted you guys to know that is in fact the case. With the county, we worked with the CAO and with Ally for that rollout. We communicated that rollout through the Parks and Recreation Commission meetings. So it's out there, it's active, it's live. So thank you for allowing me to comment.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
Thanks, Jeff. That's awesome, and I appreciate that information. But generally, just kind of an umbrella overview of the app and where it's at. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier about that. So thank you, Mr. Hill, on all your hard work in parks and your team. Thank you so much. Kathy, am I missing anything before we move to next meeting? Okay, excellent. What a great first day. Happy New Year again to you. Kern County's got a big year ahead. We have the people to do great work, so I'm excited moving forward. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn to January 14, 2025, 9 a.m. regular board meeting. Thank you, Supervisor Couch. We are adjourned.